Hey everybody. So, today I'm going to be talking about Infinity War. I have now seen it 4 times and I am completely traumatized. I was left sobbing in the theater, absolutely crushed. I was dead inside for a couple days, but now, you know what? I'm ready to talk about it, and we're going to see if anyone joins this live stream. I doubt you will, but I'm going to post this anyway so you can see it if you weren't here to interact with me immediately. And we're going to just open the chat, and maybe someone will join. Who knows? But we're just going to start. Um, First thing I want to talk about is obviously we're just going to try to go through the whole film as the scenes appeared, but I'm obviously not gonna be able to remember everything. It's a 2 hour and 40 minute movie, but it doesn't feel like it. It was epic. But the first thing I want to talk about is my one true love, Loki, played by Tom Hiddleston. Tom Hiddleston is my favorite actor in the entire universe, and I loved Loki. I have a tattoo for Loki, yellow and green rose, and I'm going to have that completed finally with Tom Hiddleston's autograph when I meet him in 55 days. I will also be seeing Chris Evans, who plays Captain America, Chris Hemsworth, who plays Thor, Elizabeth Olsen, who plays the Scarlet Witch, and Paul Bettany, who plays Vision, and there are more announcements to come, they said, so that was going to be really fun. But anyways, back to the movie. We open with Thanos and the Dark Order, Black Order. Oh God. On the Asgardian ship, they have slaughtered half the people, and they have Thor and Loki hostage. They are looking for the Tesseract, which contains the Space Stone. And throughout the promotion of this film, there has been no Loki in any posters. Anytime he's in a trailer, it's the same backdrop, the same scene. So deep down, I knew that this might be the end of Loki, as Marvel sleeps on this character, but that's a whole nother discussion. So, when Loki pulled the dagger on Thanos and was stopped and choked to death, and you could just hear the neck pop as he died, I was already sobbing. That was within the first 3 minutes of the film. I was just sobbing and crying, and it was depressing. But I don't know if this is denial. I don't know if this is me observing well, but I do not think this is the end of Loki. He is the god of mischief. He has shape-shifting abilities. He can has telekinesis. He's able to produce illusions, all this stuff, and he chooses to pull a dagger on a man who has 2 Infinity Stones. So I don't understand why Loki, with all the abilities he has, why he and dear God would pull a dagger on Thanos. It just doesn't make sense to me at all. Maybe it's because he's my favorite character. I just have more trust in him. So although we did see him lying on the floor dead, he did not go into his original form, as his Asgardian form is illusion, because he is originally, what is it called, a frost giant. So usually when you die, all your illusions are gone and you would turn blue. So I don't know. Maybe this is once again me in denial, but I don't think Loki is dead. I hope he's not dead. I have a tattoo for Loki. He can't be dead. But yeah, so right away in the first 3 minutes, I was sobbing. Sobbing. It's a sold out theater. People are looking at me, and I'm just already dead inside. Hello, one person that is watching. If you have it, ooh, ghost in my house. If you have any comments or things you want to discuss with me, put it in the chat and I'll talk about it. So yeah, it opened with yes, a year to hold out hope. I hope so. I don't know. I just don't think that's how Loki would try to kill Thanos. It just seemed half-assed. He's much more smarter than just pulling a dagger out on him. I don't know. But yeah, and then Heimdall also was stabbed in the heart. I like him too. And but of course he was able to transfer the Hulk to New York to Doctor Strange's sanctum. I think they don't call it sanctuary. I think it's a sanctum. And he's like, Thanos is coming, Thanos is coming. And of course, Dr. Stephen Strange was like, who? And then you have the title card, and I'm already crying, already dead inside. But You guys, this was a really good movie. This is gonna be long. This is gonna be long. So once again, oh, hello. Yes, hello, Richie. I have been in a slight depression from Infinity War. I just filmed episode 16 of Vikings, so I will be editing that after this. But I had to take a couple days after my favorite characters were killed, so I'm sorry about that. But anyone who watches Vikings, episode 16 will be up today, tonight, or tomorrow. So back to the movie. Back to the movie. So it then goes to Iron Man and Pepper, and he is talking about how he had a dream that they had a son. And I assume this conversation was here because of the parallels to Peter being like a son to him. I can only assume that is so, and that became more apparent in the dreaded death scene of Spider-Man, Peter Parker. That one really ripped my heart out, just a tiny bit. Like, if you guys cried during that scene, please comment that, because oh my god. Okay, see, Pepper is kind of a useless character to me also. Yeah, yeah. But here is Peter Parker, and he's just like, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And he's like, I was like, I was sobbing. I was sobbing. Anyways, we skipped like 2 hours of the movie. Back in gear here. Okay, so Iron Man was like, oh, I promise that, like, no more surprises, no more surprises. Of course, that's not gonna happen. And then in comes Doctor Strange, and he says, the I'm not exaggerating when I say the galaxy is at stake. I think he says that. And of course, Iron Man goes, and then we have the explanation of all the Infinity Stones, which was nice for certain viewers if you don't really follow the Marvel movies closely, which if you're in Infinity Wars, I hope you do, because otherwise it probably did not make sense at all if you don't know all the characters. But they explain the stones, and then Doctor Strange shows that he has a time stone to Tony, and Tony is like, why don't we just stick this bitch in a garbage disposal and be done with it? And Doctor Strange is like, no, we have sworn our lives to protect this time stone. That is not happening. And then the Hulk makes a good point, or Banner, Bruce. He is like, we know where this is. We have to go find Vision now. And of course, we have the whole thing where Iron Man's like, or Tony's like, about that one, we kind of broke up, and then yeah, you can have some jokes like, you broke up like the band, the Beatles. The humor in this movie was really well done, by the way. It was like funny and tragic movie at the same time. The Russo brothers just dragged us through a roller coaster of emotions. Anyways, they're at the Sanctum, and Maul, something Squidward, I'll call him Squidward, he shows up with the big ass dude. I don't think they ever dropped his name. The big one with the hammer. You can't miss him. They show up, and you immediately see that Squidward, God, I know his name. It's just, of course, as I'm talking about it, I don't know. You see his powers are strong. I mean, Iron Man is chucking a card. I mean, he just goes, and it's split in half, and all this stuff. So we saw that he was a very strong ally for Thanos, and I really enjoyed his character, actually. Also in the scene, thank you, Ebony Maw. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyways, thank you, Ebony. So, Iron Man was like, Bruce, you want a piece of that? He's like, no, I don't, but, you know, when do I ever have a choice? So he tries to turn green. The Hulk will not come out. They never explained why the Hulk will not come out, but with my viewing experience, I believe it is because the Hulk finally faced someone who could actually kill him in Thanos, and now he is scared to come out. If you have any other theories of why the Hulk wasn't coming, put that down below, but I believe it was because he was scared of Thanos, and he just got his ass kicked, and he didn't want to die. That's my guess. So Iron Man clicks his button, pulls his strings, and the nanotech ensues, and everyone in the theater was like, yeah! It was so awesome to be in that theater. That suit just came on, and I was like, this is about to be an awesome movie. So he fights not very well. They actually kind of kicked their ass, to be quite honest. I thought the Hulk was mad because Earth people hate him, and I don't know. don't know if he was mad. I really think it was because he has never really been in mortal danger until Thanos, and I think he's scared as fuck. Um, but yeah, so where was I going? Oh, Ebony had Strange, and Strange put a spell on the necklace to stop him from taking it. So he decides to take him with him into the ship. A battle ensues. We get our ass kicked, pretty much get our ass kicked. And then that's kind of the end of that. They're on top of the spaceship flying. Peter is running out of air. Wow, this is gonna be a long chat, you guys. I'm like on the third scene of the movie. Peter's running out of air, and we unleash the new Spider-Man Iron. What would you call it? Iron Spider suit? I don't know, but it was awesome. I really love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. As many of you know, if you watch my boyfriend channel Birdman, he looks like Tom Holland. Besides the point, anyways, I love Tom Holland, partly because my boyfriend looks like him, but he is an awesome Spider-Man and Peter Parker. So we see the suits, and Iron Man tells Friday to send him home, but as we all know, Spider-Man hung on to the back of the ship, and he entered. Thank you. He does look like Tom Holland. Thank you. I want him to cosplay as Spider-Man so bad. It'd be so good. Anyways, so... Oh, man, what happens after the spaceship leaves? What happens after the spaceship leaves? Do we go to... Oh, we go to Guardians, don't we? Yeah, so the music starts going, and then the title card just says, space. And everyone just starts dying. We're like, Guardians! Guardians! And then the spaceship comes. There's Star-Lord singing a song. I love Chris Pratt so much. Love Chris Pratt. Singing a song, you see Drax is asleep. Gamora singing along to Groot's on his game, and Rocket is like, why are we responding to this distress call? And she's like, because people might be dying. He's like, but why? And we have that whole thing. And they come up on the ruins of the Asgardian ship, and they are like, holy shit, something just happened. And you could kind of see in Gamora's face, I don't know, they showed her face. I don't know if it was just to get someone's reaction to the ruin, but it kind of looked to me as she knew this was Thanos. So I don't know if Gamora knew right then and there with the Asgardian ruin that this was Thanos, but it felt like to me she did. Who knows? And then of course we have Thor just splatting on the windshield, and Rocket's like, wiper it, get it off. But yeah, that was a funny exchange. They bring him in. We have the hilarious exchange of Drax being like, or Star-Lord was like, how is this dude still alive? And he's like, that's no dude. You're a dude. This is a man, which is so true. I think they're both attractive in their own ways, but Chris Hemsworth. So yeah, we have that whole thing. Drax has man crushed on Thor. And it was a hilarious interaction. But of course, we're not here for the funny stuff. We're here for the plot development, which happens when Gamora explains Thanos' a way of doing things. We finally get to see a way into Thanos. And let me just talk about Thanos for a little bit. I believe this man was a perfect villain to me. What makes perfect villain for me is when they have motive and when you can see their side slightly, and when you can tell that they believe they are doing what they think is right. Some villains, like in Justice League, I like the movie Justice League, but the villain was really weak to me. It just seemed like he's like, everyone die for no reason, wahaha, you know what I mean? I hate those villains who don't seem to have any clear motive, they just want death. Don't like it. So when we started to unravel the layers of Thanos, and we got to learn that he wanted to bring balance to the universe, and he believed that him wiping out half of the population is what the universe needs. It's what they need to survive. I really enjoyed that aspect of Thanos, and that he wasn't just an evil character to be evil. That's my opinion on it. I don't think I have seen anyone really talk bad about Thanos. Of course, we don't like him because he killed a lot of our favorite people. But as a villain, I believe he held his own, and I really enjoyed Thanos in this movie. Back to this. So we have the interaction with Thor and all those people, and he's talking about all the stones, and he's like, he already has the space and power stone. We know where the soul stone is. We know where the time stone is, but we don't know where the soul stone is. Did I say the soul stone already? You know what I mean. We don't know where the Soul Stone is. I'm pretty sure we don't know where the Soul Stone is. And Gamora gave this look, and I went, oh God, she knows where it is. She knows where it is. This is not going to be good. So that was another great acting by Zoe Zendana. I don't know what her last name is, but Zoe, she plays Gamora. It was a good facial expression to tell us, to portray to the audience that she knows where that stone is. Then Thor decides to break off with Rocket and Groot to go on their own mission, to go to Nidavellir, is that what it's called? It was a word to go get a weapon, a Thanos killing weapon, and then the rest of the morons went off to go to nowhere to go see if the Collector still has the Reality Stone. I think the Reality Stone was, that's the stone I was missing. They were going to see the reality, to see if the Reality Stone is still with the Collector. Does it go right into that, or am I missing a scene? Am I missing a scene, guys? We're gonna go right to nowhere, because I can't remember what happens after that. We're gonna go right to nowhere. Thanos is there interrogating the Collector, and as far as we know at this point, that he does not have the stone yet. As we learned later on, he already has the Reality Stone, and it was all an illusion. He knew Gamora was going to be there. We had the fight scene with Gamora and Thanos. It wasn't really a fight scene. She just kind of stabbed him in the neck, and everyone in the theater was, we obviously were like, we got about 2 more hours left of this bitch. There's no way he's dead. So she's crying on the ground, and all of a sudden you hear the voiceover, and he's like, is that sadness I sense in you, daughter? Deep down, I always knew you still cared for me. And then he disappears. He comes walking out, and Gamora is like, shit. He chops Drax into pieces. He spirals Mantis, and I'm like, it's not looking good. He captures Gamora. Peter comes out. Star-Lord comes out, and he promised her that he was going to kill her if Thanos caught her again. Of course, he was struggling with her, with it. It's the love of his life. You couldn't just immediately just shoot the love of your life. You're gonna have some internal struggle there. Thanos is like, she did ask you, didn't she? The thing about Thanos is he was so calm and so smug and arrogant the whole time. I really liked him, you guys. I really liked him. And then he pushed her closer to him, and he's like, do it, do it. He's like, I told you to go right, blah, blah, blah. We have the interactions, and he shoots her, but of course it is bubbles. And it disappears in the bubbles, and Thanos is like, I like you. And then he disappears into his fucking vortex. I don't know what, a vortex? Anyways, so that was an intense scene. That almost got me crying with the, I love you too, blah, blah, blah. So now Thanos has Gamora. I was like, this is a horrible movie. We are being screwed left and right. Nothing good has happened this whole fucking time. But then, one good thing finally happens. We go back to the ship. We have Ebony Maw. Oof. And he is not interrogating. He is torturing Strange to get the Time Stone to unleash the spell. And of course, Iron Man, his cape. I can't remember what the cape is called. What is the cape called? And Spider-Man is there. We have interactions with them. Blah blah blah. And I was very interested in this moment and how they were going to do it. And right when Peter said, have you seen the movie Aliens? I was like, ah! Good. So he lands Ebony, because obviously there's no way we were going to beat Ebony. I really don't think so. Do you think the Scarlet Witch is stronger than Ebony? What do you think? Ebony was very strong. So I was like, we're going to have to think of something intuitive. Is that the right? That's not the right word. Inventive to get rid of this man. Of course, Iron Man's like, the kid's seen more movies, shoots aside his spaceship. He is stuck out and dead. I can't believe we killed him off that easily. And then we get to see, you think so? Yeah. She is super strong. In my opinion, the strongest Avengers, Thor. He definitely proved his worth in this one. I always thought Thor was not the best character, but throughout Thor Ragnarok in this movie, they really redid his character, reinvented it, and I'm very interested in Thor now. But that had to be one of the best scenes when he jumped in the air and it was the blue lightning bolts in his blue eyes. Oh my god, people in the theater were clapping. Anyways, I think the strongest of the Avengers are Thor, Scarlet Witch, and Doctor Strange. Maybe you could put Vision in there. but I believe those are the four that I would be the most scared to face. I believe they are the strongest. I don't know who is stronger though. Do you think Scarlet Witch is stronger than Thor? I don't know. Anyways, so we are on the ship. We got rid of Ebony. He's dead. And Tony was like, I don't think there's a self-park function on this. Oh, before that, we had the discussion, which is very important in the movie, and which many people didn't understand why this ended up happening. We had the discussion between Tony and Strange. He said, if we're going here, believe me, I will not hesitate to let you or the boy die before I let the time stone go. That's a very important scene. Very important, so you understand that Steven will protect the time stone with his life. And in fact, let's just go right to that now. So we have the battle on Titan. A lot of people are hating on Star-Lord also. This is all over the place, I'm sorry. A lot of people are hating on Star-Lord also that he ruined it, that when he punched Thanos, they almost had the gauntlet off, that he ruined it. But you have to think, you have to put yourself in his mind space. He just lost the love of his life. You're going to be emotional. And Star-Lord has always been impulsive and emotional. It's not out of his character to do this at all. It's totally in character. I totally understood it. But also, you have to remember that Doctor Strange went through 14,206,000, think I got it there, scenarios, and they only win one. So we got it. You have to realize that this must be the way that we're going to win. Steven had it done how we wanted, and the way that we were going to end up winning in the end game is what I believe. So when Iron Man gets stabbed, everyone in the theater was like, he gets stabbed in the side, Thanos was about to kill him, and Stephen Strange says, wait! And everyone in the theater was confused. Of course I wasn't, because, you know, I got my thinking cap on here. He hands over the time stone, and no one, a lot of things I've read online, it's about 60-40. Some people understand, some people don't. People are like, why would he give him the time stone, especially when they put a scene in there saying, I will let you and Spider-Man die before I give up the time stone. Why would he give it up so easily? People, it's because this is the only way he sees them winning. It has to be the reason why he gave it up so easily, is because this is how it's supposed to go in order for the events to occur in which they win. You got, yes, Richie, you understand, you get that, you have that one chance. You have that one chance, and that's the only way he would have gave up that stone. So people who are angry with Doctor Strange, no, calm down. And he of course, he said, this is the end game now, because Tony's like, why would you do that? He's like, this is the end game now. And then later on he says, sorry, this was the only way. Put your thinking caps on, people. Come on. I jumped a lot there. Okay, let's go. We haven't talked about Vision and Scarlet Witch. So, going into this movie, I didn't really care about. If it wasn't the one chance, then he would have let Tony die for sure. Yes, he would have let Tony die, and then people would still be mad at him. There's no way people wouldn't have been mad at Doctor Strange. Anyways, Scarlet Witch and Vision. Going into this movie, I did not care for their dynamic, didn't care for their love story. Meh. Wasn't really into it. But, so when I saw them pop up on the screen, I was like, but this movie changed my mind about them. They made them more interesting, and I understood their dynamic, and I ended up liking it in the end. So this movie is just righting all its wrongs. It made Thor a better character. It made me care about, yeah, love stories are annoying, but I guess you kind of had to have it in, for the point of her struggling with destroying the stone. I feel like that's why they use this love story as a plot device for her to be, struggle with killing him. This is what I assume love stories. But yeah, when I'm there to watch a great epic story about like superheroes, villains, all that stuff, I don't need love stories. I agree. But so they're in Scotland, I think. They're in Scotland, and he's, you know, like, yes, when he was like starting, like, I think this is gonna work. I was like, yeah. But then they see on the screen that there's attack on New York, and that Tony Stark is missing, and he's like, I gotta go. And you know, I'm just sitting there. Actually, I put my popcorn down after Loki died, because If you guys just joined, I have a tattoo for Loki, a yellow and green rose. I put my popcorn down after he died. I was like, I am done with that appetite. So I'm just sitting there. Vision's just, like, I have to go, I have to go. And all of a sudden, he gets fucking stabbed. And I was like, fuck! I was like, oh my god! So he gets stabbed, and I was like, they ain't playing around in this one. And I don't believe these characters' names were ever said either, but of course, they're Thanos' children. I really, really like the CGI work and makeup done on these characters, especially the woman. Those ooh, she looked badass. I want to have that costume on. She looked awesome. And the fight scenes in this movie, I believe, were better than many, especially Civil War, because there was less shaky cam in these fight scenes. I could enjoy the fight scenes more. There was less cuts and less shaky cam. So I really enjoyed all the fights in this movie. And this one, is this the first, like, okay, we had Ebony and Iron Man in the streets of New York, but then this is the next battle scene, I believe. And it was intense. Like, I was like, are they gonna get the stone right here, right now? Scarlet Witch is fighting for her life. As I said, she's strong as fuck. She's strong as fuck. Like, that girl they have not used her to her full potential. What has she done in this whole, like, MCU universe? She's just thrown a car into a hospital, blah, blah, blah. They need to show how strong she is. Anyways, she's using her power. She's defending Vision while defending herself. They get shot into the subway station, and they're about to fight, and the subway's going, and it pans over, and you're like, who is that? And the lady throws her weapon. By the way, those weapons were awesome. They were like kind of like Thor's hammer, where they recognize the user, right? Because every time they went like this, their swords came back to them. I just noticed that. She throws it, catches it out of the darkness, emerges Captain America. Not the biggest Captain America fan, but I can get hype when it's supposed to be hype. So he appeared from the darkness. Everyone's like, yes! You have Falcon coming out. He gave a kick. You have I almost just said Scarlett Johansson. Yes, it's Scarlett Johansson. The Black Widow coming out. That I really enjoyed this fight scene. The only thing, of course, yeah, I'm not gonna remember that. Proxima. That's a cool ass name though. Proxima Midnight. Proxima. Okay, I'm gonna call her Prox. We're gonna call her P. So I love P's makeup. I want to do it. Oh God, I'm distracted now. Thanks, Richie. You distracted me. What was I talking about? Oh yes, the fight scene. The one mistake, of course, they made in this was not killing them, because Falcon had them cornered with the guns, and she's like, and Black Widow's like, I don't want to kill you. Why wouldn't you want to kill them? They're trying to end half of the universe. And she's like, you'll never get this chance again. And like I said, Captain America was holding one of their spear things, and it went zoop, right back up. So they must have a command thing on it. I don't know the dynamics of that. But, so finally we see Captain America, Black Widow, Falcon, Vision, and Scarlet Witch are together. Bam, we got that. What happens next? What happens next, guys? I'm all over the place. I already talked about Thanos getting the Reality Stone, which I believe that happened after this fight, but, I can't remember any of this shit. I've already seen it 4 times. I still can't remember, because I'm just traumatized. Do we go to Thor next? Chris Clave is her husband, the guy with the spear. Oh, to kill him, you have to... Thank you. I'm learning new things every day. So she was the daughter of Thanos, and he wasn't the son. That was her husband. Okay, makes sense to me. What happens next? Well, okay, so I think the Reality Stone happens next. Then we go to, what's War Machine's real name? Can't remember. We go to him, and he's talking to the people who made the peace accords, blah, blah, blah. Captain America's there. Bruce and Scarlet Witch, but I don't care for their love story either, but... Or not Scarlet Witch, Black Widow. Yeah, different planet takes from, like... yes, okay. Yeah, because they all look different, obviously. So he just finds, like, the strongest children, and he takes them in as his own. And he makes fighters out of them. That's what I assume, because he referenced... That happened, too, at some point. We saw Gamora as a kid, and he was like, you're quite a fighter. What's your name? She's like, Gamora, blah, blah, blah. So, So yeah, he finds these kids that he sees potential in. He takes them and he makes them into fierce ass fighters. I love Gamora. I actually love that scene. When they said that they were gonna show some of Thanos' backstory, I was like, eh, but it was actually really useful, especially in the story with him actually caring about Gamora. I needed that scene. Russo brothers, you know what you're doing, even though you ripped my heart out. So we got to see the Gamora scene and the knife, blah 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 blah. Anyways, so we have Bruce and Black Widow see each other again. Who cares? Funny joke though when Falcon was like, "This is awkward." And then they start talking. Vision is like, "We have to destroy the stone." Of course, Scarlet Witch is like, "No, we can't destroy it. I love you. That's not an option." And Captain America agrees. He's like, "We don't trade lives here," which I understand. But it's also, you gotta do the math here. One person over half the universe, the galaxy. Gotta do the math. But either way, even if they destroyed the stone there, Thanos would have eventually gotten it with the time stone. So they could have won either way. Well, who knows? Who knows? We don't know. And once again, have my thinking cap on. They're like, "Do you think we can separate the stone for Vision?" And Bruce is like, "No, not me, not here. Do you know anywhere?" And I was like, "Wakanda forever!" Huh! I was like, "We're going to Wakanda, baby." And they show Captain America, and then it cuts, and bam, Black Panther, and everyone got hyped there too. We're like, "Yeah!" Chadwick Boseman, you're my baby. I love you. Danielle Guerra, you're my baby. I love you. Michonne from The Walking Dead, bitch. Oh, they're perfect together. I love them. Love them. Yeah, so we got Black Panther. By the way, random side note with Chadwick Boseman, Danielle Guerra, and all the Black Panther actors, hats off to you for being able to do such a thick African accent and still be understandable. I don't know how you do it. Because I'm just sitting there watching them talk, and I'm like, how am I understanding any of the words they're saying? Their diction, if their accents are so perfect. Random side note, hats off to you. But yeah, so we're there. We see Bucky, and he says the White Wolf has rested for too long, or whatever. He's done resting, blah, blah, blah. Bucky gets a new arm. Again, that was another cheer in the theaters because it looked badass. Of course, it's going to be upgraded because we are in Wakanda, bitch, and they know how to make their weapons. Yes. So we see that. Is that the end of that scene? I'm losing it. I'm just gonna stick with Wakanda now. I'm gonna skip to when they arrive in Wakanda, Bruce and crew. We have a funny joke with Bruce bowing. He's like, "Oh, we don't do that here." Funny joke. And God, I'm jumping. I really am jumping. What happens? I think we go to Thanos and Gamora at his ship, I believe. So we have the interaction with Thanos and Gamora at their ship. And we get to once again hear more about Thanos' point of view, and he's like, "I saved you." She's like, "You saved me? You massacred half my people." And he's like, "Have you seen the planet now? It's thriving because of what I did. That was a small sacrifice to pay for what it is now." Which once again, you can see his point of view, but would you ever kill half of the population? Probably not. And he also addresses that too. He's like, "I'm the only one who knows this, or perhaps I'm the only one who will admit that this is the way." Which he does. He makes really good points. He makes really good points. He's like, our resources are finite. If life goes unchecked, life will cease to exist." Another really good line. Totally understand. He believes he is doing what is right. Love it. And then he talks to Gamora, and she's like, "I'm sorry I disappointed you about finding the Soul Stone." He's like, "Oh, I'm not disappointed that you didn't find it." And he leans down. By the way, Thanos' CGI, holy fucking shit, looked so good. The facial expressions. I saw it 4 times already. Like the last 2 times I viewed it, I was just paying attention to the details and just, oh my god, Thanos and Josh Brolin, who voiced Thanos and face recognized Thanos. That dude's good. He leans over to Gamora and he's like, "I'm disappointed that you lied to me about it." And I was like, "Oh shit, here we go." So then he shows that he has Nebula imprisoned, and they do this really cool camera trick where she is in the air, twitching, obviously in pain, and as the camera pans, does it pan? who cares? It pans like left or right, who cares? And you can see that she is pulled apart and she's being tortured. And I was like, oh shit. And Thanos addresses that she almost killed him, snuck into the ship and almost killed him. Obviously, he caught her. And Thanos, what did he say? Where's the Soul Stone, Gamora? And she was kind of like, I don't know where it is. And he looks over to the guy. He unleashes Nebula's little memory file, and I was like, fuck. I was like, fuck. This movie is so good. Oh my god. Yeah, so it's like, I burned it to ashes. And then, once again, Thanos dropping some hot lines. He goes, you're strong. Me. You're generous. Me. But I never taught you how to lie. That's why you're so bad at it. And I was like, ooh! So then he starts torching Nebula. Of course, Gamora cares for her sister, so she reveals that it's on Vormir. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it was the planet Vormir. And we're just going to keep following the storyline. I know they cut into something else. Oh, they cut to Tony, Peter, Doctor Strange. Oh, and the Guardians. They have their fight scene. Where they think they're both for Thanos, which was a very good scene. And of course, we start getting Tony and Peter interactions, Tony and Star-Lord interactions, and of course, they're both cocky guys. They both think they're the leaders. So they have some interactions that are very funny. Besides the point, we get this scene, and they're just talking about the plan, and it's just, Tony can see that it's a shit show. They just wing it half the time. He's like, we're gonna need more than your plucky attitudes here. And Mantis goes, does your friend always do that? And this is when Doctor Strange is going through all the futures. And telling you I had goosebumps when he's like, I went through 14,206 things and we win one. I was like, woo, yikes, this is not gonna be good. So that was intense. And then, of course, oh yeah, he says we win one, and it cuts to Thanos and Gamora now on Vormir, and he's like, it better be here for your sister's sake, blah, 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 blah. We get to the entrance of wherever they're going, and a figure appears, floating, it's floating. Hello, Thanos, Gamora, daughter of Thanos. By the way, he is voiced by Ross Marquand, who is Aaron in The Walking Dead. Aaron is now fucking in the Marvel Universe. Awesome. I did not know it was Ross Marquand until the credits rolled. I was like, he was voicing that? But, yeah, Thanos is like, I'm willing to pay whatever price it is. The figure sets down, emerges, and it's the fucking Red Skull. Of course, only like 20% of the theater understood who it was, but 20% of the theater was like, oh, Red Skull, Red Skull, Red Skull. So that was really cool that they put the Red Skull in there, and that was voiced by Ross Marquand, because I love Ross Marquand. He's a very nice guy. Met him in Chicago. Well, I didn't meet him, but face to face, but I saw him interacting with people. He was fun. Anyways, back to the movie. They go to the edge of the Vormir, of the cliff, wherever, and the Red Skull explains, in order to get the Soul Stone, it needs something that you love, a soul for a soul. Thanos has a look on his face. Everyone, audience has a look on their face, like, you're about to do this to Gamora, huh? And of course, Gamora, it hasn't clicked for Gamora, because all her life she believes Thanos is a selfish man, doesn't love anything. And has a little speech. She's laughing. She's like, the universe is telling you no, because you know why? You love nothing. You love no one. And he slowly turns, and I'm just like, oh God. And she's like, really? Tears? And Red Skull goes, it's not for him. And finally that light bulb goes on, and she was like, huh? And he starts walking towards her, and he's like, she's like, this is not love, and he's like, I already ignored my destiny once, which I didn't understand that line. Did he ignore his destiny by letting her live when she was a little girl? She was supposed to be on the side that everyone died. What was that destiny line? If you can tell me, let me know. He's like, I ignored my destiny once, I'm not gonna do it again, not even for you. and he grabs her. We have some slow motion music playing. She's slapping him, slapping him. He throws her over the fucking cliff, and as she's falling, I was like, someone's gonna fly in and catch her, right? We're gonna have like Iron Man somehow come and fly over and catch her. I don't know, but she's falling, she's falling. It cuts to Thanos crying, and I'm not gonna say I felt for the guy, but I was like, oof, yeah, that would be hard. So, I mean, once again, Thanos was a really good villain. Cuts to that, and it cuts to Gamora, fucking green brains, blood splattered on the ground. She's fucking just dead. I was like, so you're gonna kill my boy Heimdall? You're gonna kill my boy Loki? My boy Loki? My boy Loki? You're gonna do all this to me. Now you're gonna take out Gamora? Okay. Little did I know. Little did I know. So Gamora's dead. Fucking great. Perfect. Fabulous. We go back to Wakanda, I think. And we get to meet, ooh, I forgot, what is T'Challa's sister's name? T'Challa's sister is like talking to Bruce, like, why did you do it this way? In Vision's head, you could have done it this way. And Bruce is like, ooh, we didn't think about that because obviously Shuri is smart and she knows her shit. So she is going to detach the stone, which I thought was very interesting. So she's gonna try to detach. Yeah, Shuri. She's gonna try to detach the stone, and what did she say? There's like 2 trillion fucking connections. Jesus Christ. And she goes, they're like, how much time do you need? And she's like, as much time as I want. Of course, as she says, as much time as I need, as much time as you can give me, there's something entering the atmosphere. They have these fucking ships going. I already forgot her name. We're calling her P, the daughter of Thanos. She's dropping these ships. One explodes on the screen, so it establishes, once again, just reminding us that Wakanda has a force field around it. But then the ships land outside, and I was like, shit, how the hell? At first I was like, okay, we got a force field, but obviously it's not going to be that easy. And I was like, how is she going to detach 2 trillion fucking neurons to get the stone out in time when they're already at the front gates? And then they're like, we have to go and fight. T'Challa's like, we have this tribe, this tribe, this tribe, blah, blah, blah. We're going to fight. Then there's a cut to Titan. Does it cut to Titan? I'm not sure. But I'm going to go there. So then we go to Titan. And yeah, easy peasy. Perfect. We go to Titan, and Thanos appears, and it's just Doctor Strange sitting on the stone, and he's like, I assume Ebony is dead, and he's like, yes, and he goes, this day has extracted a heavy toll. Yeah, that's what usually happens when you try to fucking take over the universe. Anyways, killed your fucking daughter, the only one you cared about, apparently. Because over here, here's your kids dying over here. You don't care. There's your torturing Nebula. You don't care. But he loves Gamora. Obviously, they established that. Besides the point. Doctor Strange goes, I assume you took me to your home planet. And Thanos, then again, we get some more layers of Thanos. He uses the Reality Stone to show him what Titan used to look like. And he said, as any planet, we had too many mouths to feed. I proposed that we kill off half the population. Random lottery, rich and poor alike, kill half of them off and be fine. They call him a madman. He unleashes the Reality Stone, and what I came to guess happened. And Doctor Strange's like, "You're a fucking prophet, dude. Woohoo!" He's like, "No, I'm a survivor." And then, of course, the fighting ensues. Iron Man smashes a whole fucking like meteor on him, and that no scratch at all. And Peter's like, good job, you just pissed them off. And he uses the Power Stone, explodes it, uses the Reality Stone. I love, it's so much easier to follow with the colors. So he uses the Power Stone to explode it, purple. Then he uses the Reality Stone, red, right? To turn the shatters into birds. They start attacking Iron Man. He's like, ah! Like, it's apparent that Thanos is strong as fuck. So we have like 5 people fighting him. We have Doctor Strange, we have Drax, we have Peter, we have Star-Lord. Yeah, 5. We have 5 people fighting. Mantis isn't really in the fight until later. Fighting him, he's pretty much kicking their ass. Let's be honest here. They finally get a hold of him. Doctor Strange gets his arm. Star-Lord shoots something to get his arm. Drax knocks his leg down. Spider-Man gets the web on him. And then Doctor Strange drops Mantis on top of his head. And of course, we use Mantis for her ability to... Well, I don't know what her ability is, just to get into people's minds. I don't know the right word for it. But she's like, putting him to sleep, and she's like, hurry the fuck up, this bitch is strong. She didn't say that, but you know what I mean. And I was like, I don't know. By this time, I was like, is this how we're gonna win? But little did I know, no. I mean, I was like 80% sure this is how this was going to end. But they're trying to get the gauntlet off, and of course, in walks Star-Lord, and Nebula's there at this point. I kind of skipped over Nebula, and he's like, "Where's Gamora?" And he's like, "My Gamora." He's like, "Oh, bullshit." And Peter and Tony are trying to get the glove off, and Mantis goes, "He's in agony." He's like, "Good." And then she's like, "He mourns." And I was like, "Oh God, oh God, oh God." And then Nebula's like, "Gamora, she's gone. He went to Vormir and came back with the Soul Stone, not Gamora." And then Peter like turns, or Star-Lord turns, and I was like, "Oh fuck, oh fuck." I totally understand. Once again, we had this conversation. Don't blame fucking Star-Lord. This is how it was supposed to happen. He's always been like this. He's always been impulsive. It's not out of his character. We've talked about it. Anyways, he goes up to him, and he just loses it. He punches him. Mantis' hands come off, which means the spell is undone. Peter, Spider-Man almost has the fucking gauntlet off. Of course, he snaps back, grabs it, starts kicking their ass again, kicking their ass. And I was like, God damn it. I was angry at first, but I was like, okay, this is how it's supposed to happen. It's fine. Then we have that awesome fight scene between Doctor Strange and Thanos, where Thanos sends this over, Doctor Strange uses the mirror, sends it back, he gets into his gauntlet, throws it, Doctor Strange butterflies it, then he goes, and then he turns into like millions of Doctor Stranges. Of course, that doesn't really work. He just uses the Power Stone, I think, to just knock out the illusion. Doctor Strange is a chokehold, fake Time Stone. And I was like, okay, smart, but I mean, he's kicking your guys' asses. What the hell are you gonna do? Then Tony comes in, I think, and fucking, as if we didn't know that Thanos was strong enough, as if Thanos didn't kick the Hulk's ass without a sweat, as if Thanos hasn't killed 3 of my favorite characters already, as if Thanos doesn't already have 4 stones already. He takes this fucking gauntlet, and I'm like, he's gonna throw a fucking moon. He takes the fucking moon, and he went, ah! And he throws a moon. He throws a moon at Iron Man, and I was like, this bitch. So we had that fight scene. I've kind of already talked about this, but we're in the timeline now. Had that fight scene, and he says, Thanos is a boss. He is. Thanos is pretty fucking awesome. And he goes, Mr. Stark, or did he say Tony Stark, something like that. And Tony's like, you know who I am? And once again, fucking perfect CGI, perfect facial expressions by Josh Brolin. He went, gotta get my buddies. Okay, see you later. Come back. He's like, yes, I know who you are. I'm not the only one cursed with knowledge. And Tony's like, my only curse is you. But it was another good interaction with Thanos. Fucking the work was so well done. I can't believe how good Thanos looked. It was ridiculous. But yeah, he's like, yes, I know who you are. Anyways, I'm fangirling. I'm geeking out. It was perfect CGI. Anyways, they have a fight. He's just fucking knocking Tony's fucking mask off. Bam, bam, bam. And then Tony tries to stab him. He breaks his thing off and stabs him. And the theater was like, and then it went silent and we're like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God. And Thanos has another good line. All of Thanos' lines were just fucking perfect. perfect lines. He was like, what did he say? When I'm done, half of humanity will still be alive. I hope they remember you. So he admires Tony. Well, not admires. He respects Tony. He backs up. He's about to kill him. And Doctor Strange goes, wait. And everyone in my theater was like, no! Bitch, what are you doing? And got my thinking cap on again. I was like, okay, this is how he needs it to go. He produces a time stone. He gives it to Thanos in order to save Tony's life, which is the exact opposite of what he said he was going to do, which is why some people were mad. But once again, put your thinking cap on. This is how we win. This is how it has to happen in order for us to have that one chance out of 14 million to win. This is the only way. There's no other reason Doctor Strange would have gave that time stone up so easily. I'm telling you guys. I think you believe me. I think the people on here know. But, so he hands it over. And then, to solidify my point, when Thanos leaves, and, Star-Lord was like, did we just lose? And then Tony's like, why would you do that? He's like, we're in the end game now. We're in the end game now. So, that was the fight over in Titan. Let's go back to Wakanda. So, got some humor with the Hulkbuster. He trips. And what is Denai's character's name? In Black Panther. Can't remember. I'll just call her Denai. Gives her the face when he trips in the Hulkbuster. Hilarious. Anyways, we have no time for laughing at this point. Fucking people are dead. People are dead. Captain America, Black Widow, and T'Challa go up to the force field, and we have P and the big ass dude. What's her name? Proximia, and then the big ass dude. And she's checking out the thing. Once again, fucking, I don't know. Was I obviously know the big dude was CGI, but was she mostly prosthetic makeup, or was that CGI on that character? Because to me it looked like it was CG or just prosthetic makeup horns. But then when they zoom out, she's really big, so I'm like, is she CGI'd? Like, that's when you know the CGI is good, when you're like, is that makeup or CGI? Okay, so she's all CGI with, I assume, facial recognition. Anyways, she's awesome. She looks awesome. And Black Widow goes, where's your friend? And she's like, you'll pay for his life with yours. And I was like, oh shit, he's dead. Little did I know, he is not dead. These people are smart. They got their thinking caps on like I do. And then, this was badass. There are so many badass parts in this movie. She's like, what did T'Challa say? You're in Wakanda now. God damn it. He said something about blood. I can't remember. It was so badass. Well, what she says is badass. She goes, we have blood to spare. And then the fucking ships came out. And then they show inside of the ship. And the dogs were like, and everyone in the theater was like, what the fuck are those things? And Bucky's like, did they surrender? He's like, not exactly. Yeah, about that. And they start running. And I can't remember... Thank you. And what is the big guy's name? Richie, what's the big guy's name? Do you know? Because I don't know. The big black guy. I hate to use race to describe someone, but the big ass black guy, I love him. He's a good fighter. They're chanting. And the dogs start coming. And I'm like, okay, there's a force field. So how's this going to work out? They start taking the arms off when they try to get in. Being detached from the fucking torso, trying to just shove themselves in. And it was intense. I was like, what the fuck? They do have blood to spare. Jesus Christ. And it goes to, you just said her character's name. Aoki? Is that how you say it? Aoki? And she's like, they're killing themselves. And I was like, oh, holy fuck. I had goosebumps. I was like, oh, fuck. But of course, when they start going in, they did a chant, like, huh, blah, 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 and the shields, and they start shooting the dogs. But then the dogs start going around the dome, and Bruce is like, if they get behind us, there's nothing between Vision. And I went, oh, fuck. And they're like, how are we going to keep them in front of us? And T'Challa's like, we must open the barrier. I can't do a fucking accent. He's like, we must open the barrier. And I was like, oh my god. So they open the barrier. I am scared at this point. They start running. Here's another badass scene. We just have badass scenes upon badass scenes. I haven't talked about Thor in a while. I'll talk about him after this little thing. Um, so we have this badass scene where they're running, and then it goes to a tracking shot of them running. So we have not a tracking shot, a dolly shot, I believe. Sorry, I'm a film major, using technical terms. They have a dolly shot, I think, of the side, and they're running, and it shows fucking Captain America fucking going past all of them. I'm sorry about the swearing. He's running past all of them. And he meets up with Black Panther. They're running. They're in the front of the lines, like good leaders should be, in the front of the battle lines. They're running, and then they jump, and the battle scene starts once again. Less shaky camera than normal, which makes the fight scenes even that much better. They're fighting, blah, blah, blah. Cut it off. Let's go back to Thor. So I haven't talked about Thor until, like, I talked about him meeting the Guardians of the Galaxy, and that was a while back. Richie, you're on it. How do you, are you looking it up, or do you just know? How do you know these names? So let's go back to Thor. Last I talked about him, he just met the Guardians of the Galaxy. He went to Rocket and Groot. They are going to Nidavellir. I'm not sure. Where the birthplace of his hammer was. So apparently this place forges the strongest weapons in the universe, and you have to be godly to hold on to them. As Thor referred to, he's like, your bodies would shrivel up and your minds would go mad if you held one of these things. He's basically like, I can do this, I got it. So they go there. Thor gets his new eye. We have a moment with him and Rocket. Thor's basically like, my whole family's dead. We get to learn how old Thor is. You think he said 1,500 years old. And we got to see kind of his humor crumble. He started crying a little bit. Blah, blah, blah. He got his eye back. There was a funny joke about how Rocket's like, you should have washed that. The only way I got that off that planet was shoving it up my eye. That was funny. So we have the new eye, which I'm okay with. It didn't bother me. It bothered some people. I heard that they're like, that was a stupid way for him to get his eye back. Who cares? He's got his eye back. It was a different color, which I liked. It was brown here and blue here. That was cool. And he's like, I don't think it's working. Everything's dark. But everything is dark because the star's fucking dead. So they show up, and Rocket's like, you said Thanos had a gauntlet, right? And he's like, yeah. He's like, does it look anything like that? And I was like, oh, fuck. This is where they made it. This is where the gauntlet was made. And he's like, we gotta go. And he gets whacked by this giant. And the fucking giant is Peter fucking Dinklage. I was like, oh my god. You could hear murmurs in the theater. Everyone's like, is that Peter Dinklage? Is that Peter Dinklage? And I was like, it is Peter Dinklage. I was like, oh my god. So the most ironic thing, well, he was still a dwarf, but in this universe, dwarfs are giants, bigs. I was like, fucking Peter Dinklage. It was hilarious. It was great. I didn't know I needed it, but I did. It was amazing. It was amazing. So Peter Dinklage is fucking dwarf. They have this exchange. We gotta build this. We gotta build this axe, Stormbreaker, which I don't know the lore of Stormbreaker, but I heard it looks similar to another weapon in the comics. Don't ask me. I don't know. And he's like, we need to activate the star again. I'm just gonna go through Thor. I know there's cuts in this, but I kind of covered a lot of Wakanda up to this point, so let's catch up with Thor here. So he has Rocket, and Rocket was like, how the fuck are you gonna get these rings to go? Like, you're just a dude with some rope. And of course Thor's like, and he lodges himself onto the ring, and he gets them to move, and the star bursts, and it looks so beautiful, so beautiful. And Rocket was like, wow. So it looked really good. It was really cool. And then it starts burning, but then the iris shuts. And Thor says, I'm going to hold it open. And I can't remember Peter Dinklage's character, but I'm just going to say Peter Dinklage. Peter Dinklage was like, you're going to die. Like, no one could withstand the fucking power of a star shooting flames or whatever it fucking is. But Thor's like, it's suicide if we go and try to fight Thanos without this thing. So he's like, whoosh, he opens it up once again, proving that Thor has much more potential than we've been using. Thor was so good in this movie. See, I don't know if he's stronger than this. Is he stronger than Scarlet Witch, you think? I believe Thor is the strongest Avenger, in my opinion. And this shows you that he is. He's opening the fucking star. He survives it, but he's on the ground. He's on the ground, and I was like, he's not dead. He's not dead. I wasn't worried about that one yet. And I was like, okay, he's awesome. Yeah, he is a god. So is Loki. So is Loki, and he's fucking... He's not. If he... Saying I will be hype if Loki's not dead is an understatement. If I walk into Avengers 4 and all of a sudden something happens and Loki shows up and he's like, I'm not dead, bitches, I'm going to stand up in the theater, jog circles around, just like, yeah! Anyways, I think they did my boy Loki wrong here. Back to Thor. So Thor's on the ground and Peter Dinklage is like, he needs the hammer. He needs the hammer. And he doesn't know where the fucking handle is. I was like, come on, dude, you should know where the handle is. Anyways, he's like, Tree, help me find the... He's like, help me find the handle. And Groot finally looks up from his game. And his cute little face. I love Groot so much. And he fucking extends his arm. And he grabs onto the axe pieces. I was like, oh my god, is he gonna kill himself? Like, is this gonna kill him? And he groans because it's fucking hot and he's a fucking tree. Sorry about all the F-bombs, but... And then he chops his arm off to make the axe. And I was like, I'm having deja vu right now. Hello, Peter Parker. My boyfriend looks like you. Hi. I love you. Sorry, you're dead. How are you messaging? That proves that he's not dead. Peter Parker just messaged in the live stream. Anyways, so he chopped his arm off. God, I'm distracted now. Gotta stop looking at the messages. And Thor goes, the thunder starts coming, and then it cuts back to Wakanda. We're back in Wakanda now. I think I caught up everything. How did all this rambling catch up to a cohesive point? Who knows? The world may never know. So, he's like, they're fighting, and it's not looking good. Black Panther gets caught on the leg. He gets thrown. People are surrounding him. Captain America gets pinned against a rock. A thing's coming at him. The Hulkbuster gets toppled down. They're breaking through the glass. And I was like, are they about to kill everyone? I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then, shoong, and this might be the best scene in the fucking movie, you guys. The hammer, or the axe, starts taking everyone out, but then it comes back and it catches, and then the Avengers theme starts going, and I was like, hallelujah! And Rocket's on his shoulder, Groot's standing there, he's caught it, he has his fucking new armor on, he's looking like a babe. Anyways, he's looking good, and as if I didn't think it could get even any more badass, as if I thought that was the peak of this scene. Thor goes, bring me Thanos! And this bitch jumps in the air! And blue lightning bolts are everything. They did crush this film. It was amazing. I have seen it 4 times. Thank you for commenting. It was amazing. He jumps in the air, blue lightning bolts going, and his eyes are blue, and he goes, ah, God, slams on the ground, and I was in the theater. I was like, yes! My baby Thor's finally reaching his potential. Thank you. Oh my god. It was... Everyone in the theater was like, yeah! But our troubles are not gone. I'm obviously going to skip some major stuff, but I'm going to go to the part where they get under it with their big fucking gear machine, and that's starting to kill people. And Wanda sees this, and she decides to come down. Once again, you don't fuck with Wanda. She's strong as fuck. The Scarlet Witch is so strong. They haven't used her to her full potential either, but that's a whole nother conversation. She comes down, grabs the gears, puts them in the air, and uses them to kill some dogs. And and then Aoki makes a very funny joke. She's like, "Why was she up there all this time?" And I was like, everyone laughed in the theater. Um, but then, but then, Miss P over here, the daughter of Thanos, Miss P, she's like, Scarlet Witch is that Groot sacrifices his arm to make the axe. Yes, it was awesome. I talked about it. It was really great. That axe is badass. Oh. Um, but then P is like, I still don't know how to pronounce it. Okoye. I'll just call her O. Um, so then, God, what happens? Oh yeah, P was like, she's gone. Get the stone, and then in pops up her husband or whatever you said, Richie. I can't remember. He's not dead. It was all a fucking facade. He snuck into the back to go get the stone. Shuri's doing surgery right now, trying to get this bitch off. He kills all of them very easily. I don't know if Shuri's dead. Is she dead or is she just knocked out? He knocks her out. She's on the ground and the table's gone. Vision obviously got off the table, and a Vision and alien man fight scene ensues. And as we saw, Vision didn't really have any wins in this movie. He got his ass kicked the whole 2 hour, 40-minute movie. There's no point where I was like, Vision is winning this one. He was getting his ass kicked the whole time. So Vision's over here getting his ass kicked, gets stabbed again, and he's like, I thought you were a formidable machine, but you're gonna die like any man. Blah, 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 blah. Then Captain America comes in. They have a fight scene. He's about to kill Captain America, um, but Vision musters up the strength, stabs him through the heart, and you guys, I felt like a dumbass. So, I can't remember. I don't think you ever told me that guy's name. Did you ever tell me that name? Let's see. No, I don't think you did. The alien, his spear, sword, whatever you want to call it, the end of it looks like Loki's spear in the first Avengers movie and Thor and all that. So when he got stabbed through the back, I thought it was fucking Loki. I was like, is it Loki? Is it Loki? No, it was just Vision using his own weapon against him. But I just had to share that. I had a fake out there. I'm still hopeful. If Loki's actually dead, I'm writing a strongly worded letter to Marvel because we got no posters, we got nothing for Loki, and he's one of the most popular characters in the MCU. In fact, he won the most popular character in a bracket on Twitter. Anyways, sorry I get fired up about Loki. So Vision gets stabbed, we kill the guy, blah blah blah. We're okay. Vision got wounded early in the film, and yeah, because about that, Vision getting wounded. He got stabbed, and he said something about how the weapon was stopping him from uh, fainting or something. You do need a Loki tattoo. You guys, I'm meeting Tom Hiddleston in 55 days. I'm going to... Okay, let me get this up here. So, I didn't want something too crazy, but I just got yellow and green to represent him. Sorry, go back to Loki. Sorry, guys. I'm going to have Tom... Hold on. I got this amazing art piece here. It's like a digital art that this artist did at Walker Stalker. I'm gonna have Tom sign it, but then I'm gonna have the autograph lifted, and I'm gonna put the autograph right there and complete my tattoo. It's been uncompleted for so long. But yeah, dude is right. I got the VIP Tom Hiddleston package, so I get a photo op and I get an autograph. And I'm debating if I want to get a photo with Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth. They're also there. So is Elizabeth Olsen, the Scarlet Witch, and Paul Bettany, Vision. And they said the announcements aren't done. So there might be even more people. I really would like to see Chadwick Boseman, who plays Black Panther, or Chris Pratt, who plays Star-Lord. But Jurassic World opens that weekend, so I'm not sure. But yeah, it's in Seattle, you guys. If you have money, go to it, and we can meet up and hang out. It would be awesome. But yeah. Tom Hiddleston has been my favorite actor for about 7 years, and I never thought I was going to get to meet him because he doesn't really do conventions that often, but finally. Anyways, back to the movie. Actually, let me just put that there. Sorry, we got the. That's my memorial for Loki at the moment here. So, back. Where was I? Vision just was saved by Captain America. Okay, so then we have the scene where Miss P, Thanos' daughter, punches or gets Scarlet Witch in the head. She knocks down. She's like, "You're gonna die alone, just like he will." And Black Widow's like, "She's not alone." And then Aokoi O comes down. They have this awesome fight scene. It's another good scene, less shaky camera. They need to keep doing fight scenes like this, otherwise I'm gonna be disappointed. You guys, look at this. It keeps. Anyways, it's a great fight scene, and she ends up dying by the Scarlet Witch sending her into Okoye. 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 Is that good? Am I closer? Okoye. Anyways, the Scarlet Witch sends her up, and she gets fucking smashed by a thing, and I was like, yes, Scarlet Witch, yes. So we seem to be doing all right. Finally, I'm gonna mess it up again. I don't think she shows up again. She does. Anyways, so it seems like we got these dogs under control. We had a funny scene with Bucky picking up Rocket, and they were going, ah! And then Rocket's like, how much for the gun? Not for sale. How much for the arm? He just walks away. He's like, oh, I'm gonna get that arm. That was funny. Here's Thor. You got the badass scenes in this fucking movie. Here's Thor flying through the ships, exploding the ships, and then he's in the air, and then he goes zoop, right into another one, explodes that one. I'm just like, yes. So everything's kind of looking up, but of course, no. And then Scarlet Witch gets the Vision, and he goes, ah! He's like, he's here, and everything goes silent. And the wind is blowing. And I was like, oh, fuck. I was still not prepared for what was about to happen. This is the Thor we always wanted. Yes. Yes. Thor, oh. So Thanos comes out, and the music, that sounds like the Jaws theme, but you know what I mean. The bass was dropping as he was walking. It was in sync with his walk, and then the Hulkbuster comes at him. He goes ching. He uses the Space Zone stone to make him go right through him. Then Captain America. No. Yeah, I think Captain America comes. He goes. Then Black Panther jumps up and goes, ah! And then he choke slams him in the ground. And then I was like, oh my god. And then Vision looked at Scarlet, and he's like, now's the time. You have to kill me. Of course, at first she's like, I can't. Then it cuts back. Oh, I already forgot. Okoye. She throws the spear. He's like, Scarlet Witch gets knocked out. Fucking War Machine gets smashed and he gets thrown out. Like, everyone's just getting killed. Everyone's just, well, not killed, but they're just getting their asses kicked. And then Scarlet Witch finally decides to just go. She's like, fine. And then I love you. You can't hurt me. Blah blah blah. She starts doing it. And as if we didn't already know, Scarlet Witch is strong. Or maybe Thanos was just playing with her, toying with her. He tends to do that, just slightly, a little bit. She's doing this Vision and holding Thanos back. But once again, I don't know if he was just, like, playing with her, because he likes to play with people's minds a lot. So she's like, shing! And then it starts cracking, and they have this little shot of it going, poosh. And I was like, no, okay, here's my exact reaction. I'm gonna reenact it. Okay. Explosion. He has the fucking time stone. I was like, shit. I was like, oh shit. But once again, this has to be how it was supposed to go because Doctor Strange saw it. He saw it. And Another thing with the Doctor Strange conspiracy theory here, well, it's not a conspiracy theory, I think it's right, is that in his solo movie, I can't remember Tilda Swinton's character's name, but she said that when she saw into the future, she couldn't see past the point of her death. Do you remember this? She said, I've always come here and I can't see past it, and then she died. Well, Doctor Strange saw how they won, but he dies in the end of this movie, right? But how could he see if they won if he's dead? So he's not dead. Push. Anyways, back to it. Back to it. Where was I at? Oh yeah, Thanos just, he understands Wanda. He understands Wanda, and he's like, I understand you. I've lost a lot. He pets her on the head. He admires people who have strong wills. He also had a line about strong wills, which I will reference that. Back up. Captain America grabs his glove, and he's slightly holding him for a second there. Obviously not enough. But there's a look on Thanos' face. He kind of was perplexed that Captain America was able to hold him there for a second. And I believe it was because Captain America has a strong will. And he he at that moment knew he had to do this. I don't know. But there has to be a reason why they had him doing that. I don't know. And then he punched him, of course. Anyways, back to it. He's like, Wanda, I understand, but bitch. It was on his left hand, I think. Turns back time. There's Vision. And he picks Vision up. And he doesn't do it precisely. He just goes... rip, and I wish I could have this pictures next to me as it's happening. He just fucking rips it out of his fucking forehead, and he goes limp, and he goes black and white, and then he throws him to the side. And I was like, oh my god. He puts it in, he fucking has like rainbow veins, he's like, ah! Awesome, once again, awesome. And Lucas is texting me. I was like, oh my god, what's gonna happen next? He gets hit by thunder, Thor's in the air, Thanos starts his glove, and Thor just goes, ah! Chucks the axe, and there's this cool scene of the axe going through the fucking stream of power, and then whoosh, right into his chest, and I was like, oh. But then again, I might have been angry if they defeated Thanos in this, because, it's Infinity War. People are supposed to die. So I'm glad they didn't cop out and end it here, and we defeated Thanos here. I'm glad they didn't do that, although I'm still traumatized by everyone who died. We're getting there. So he throws them into the chest, and he's like, damn, this fucking live stream is going to go as long as the movie did. He's in his chest, and once again, Thanos is acting his little part. He loves to play with people. He's like, you should have aimed for the head. And I went, oh fuck. He's like, you should have aimed for the head. Snap! I can't say it with my left hand. Snap! And it went white. Which I believe the screen went white because the mix of all the colors is white. Once again, another analytical thing that doesn't really matter. But the screen went white because I believe all the suns were used and all the colors together is white. And then he goes into the, I don't know, what would you call it? Dream. And he sees little Gamora, and she's like, what did it cost? He's like, everything. It comes back. The Infinity Gauntlet is burned or ruined, and his whole arm, if you notice his whole arm up to like here, you could see it was burned from how much power he just used, I assume. And Thor was like, what did you do? And he just kind of looked around, and then he disappeared into his fucking smoke vortex or something. And he disappeared into a smoke screen. I'm glad you like it. And this axe was left, and they're looking around. Okay. I have to summon the power of the Infinity Gauntlet not to cry while explaining the end of this movie. Okay. So they're all looking around, and Captain America's like, where'd he go? Where'd he go? Then you hear, Steve? And fucking Bucky just fucking into a fucking puff of dust. And I was like, ah. Once again, Bucky's not up there in my favorites, but I was still like, ooh. So he's dead. And then T'Challa was like, Okoye, get up, this is no place to die. And as he's grabbing for her, he fucking disappears. And I went, did they just fucking kill Black Panther? Did they just, did, did they just kill Black Panther? Did they just kill a character that made them $1.3 billion worldwide? But anyways, he disappears and I went, everyone in the theater was shook. Bucky, you couldn't really hear the people's reactions, but when Black Panther started going, people were like, oh. And then, cutscene to Groot fucking dying. Groot and Rocket going, no, 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 no. Rocket has had to see Groot die 2 times now. 2 times. So, here, Bucky deserved better. He's not one of my favorites, but he deserved better. Anyways, Groot was like, I am Groot, and he disappears. They literally, you could not breathe the last 20 minutes of this movie. The last 20 minutes, they're just like, cry, 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 cry. There's no breaks. So, Bucky, dead. Black Panther, dead. Groot, dead. That cuts to the Falcon. I love the Falcon. Dead. Cut. Scarlet Witch, dead. I think that's everyone that was on Wakanda. Bucky, Black Panther, Groot, Falcon, Scarlet Witch. I believe so. And yeah, I think that's all that died there. And then I was just like, I'm not kidding you. There's probably been 2 times in my whole 19 years of life that I've ever cried harder. This was the 3rd hardest I've ever cried in my life, which also shows that I haven't gone through very much hard stuff yet. I'm young, hey. But I was sobbing. I was like vocal. I was like, and my eyes were leaking. I wasn't crying; they were just leaking, and I was shaking. And the people next to me were like, "This bitch is too into this," but I was just crying. Just everything was just coming down, and then it cuts to Titan, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" And then fuck. Mantis is like, something's happening. And I was like, oh, she feels something's happening. No, she feels herself fucking dying. It zooms out and she's dead. Then it goes to Drax, dead. Then it goes to Quill, and then Tony's like, stay steady, Quill. And I went, what, bitch, what do you mean stay steady, Quill? Oh, he means try not to die as fucking Star-Lord dies. So bam, bam, bam. Rocket's the only Guardian left, man. Fuck. Anyways, so Star-Lord dies, and people were shook on that one too, but not as shook as Black Panther. So people were like, and then, as if my baby Loki wasn't enough. As if Loki wasn't enough. You hear Mr. Stark? And I went, oh fuck no. He goes, Mr. Stark? I'm gonna act out the scene here. I don't feel so good. And then he stumbles to them, and he's holding him, and he's like, I don't feel so good. He's like, I don't want to go. Fucking Tom Holland crushed this scene, by the way. He ripped my soul out. Tom Holland, you are Spider-Man. I don't care. You can fight me. Tom Holland is Spider-Man. He was like, I don't want to go. And Tony's like, it's okay. It's not okay. But, you know, that's what you say to people who are dying. He's lying on the ground, and he's like, I'm sorry. And then, whoosh. So here's my crying level. I'll show you. So, Bucky. Oh, Black Panther. Groot. Falcon. Scarlet Witch. Groot. Oh my god. Guardians. Oh, Star-Lord. fucking Spider-Man. I was like shaking, bawling my eyes out, like, oh my god, what is this movie doing? What is this movie doing? Like, that's people. The loudest death reactions were Black Panther and Spider-Man by far. But yeah, Spider-Man, people, you could start hearing the fangirls. The chorus of fangirls started to cry there. And we were just like, oh, oh. So there, so yeah, I'm getting there, Richie. I'm getting there. So fucking, Spider-Man, Peter dies, and Tony's whole like has the fucking ashes on his hand, and he's crying. And I'm gonna throw back all the way to the third scene of the movie where Tony was talking about his dreams with Pepper, and he was talking about I dreamed that we had a kid. He agreed that we had he dreamed that they had a kid, and when he woke up, he thought they were conceiving. I believe this conversation was there as the purpose of them alluding to the parallel of Peter being like Tony's son. Tell me if you agree with that, or if you think that's a good thought. So I believe they had that conversation with Pepper about the kid as parallel to him feeling like Peter is his kid and he feels in charge of him. So here he is holding his, like a son's ashes. And then I was like, okay, they just wiped out over half of the people. It can't be over, or it has to be done, right? It has to be done, right? No. You hear Strange. He's just like, what did he say? Fuck, what did he say? Oh, he said there was no other way. And I was like, okay. So we still can turn back time or something and save these people somehow. There's no other way. I was like, okay. That kind of relieved me. And then Strange fucking dies. I went. But as I said, I don't believe he's really dead because you cannot see past your death. And he saw past his death. So I don't believe he's really dead. Anyways, I'm in the theater. Just. Whoa! Whoa! Dead. Dying, deceased. Bawling my eyes out. So traumatized. I'm telling you, on my drive back home, I literally thought I was going to spiral into depression. And I'm not making jokes about it. Like, I literally thought I was about to go into a deep, deep, dark depression from this fucking movie. Anyways, everyone's dead. I'm in the theater. Everyone's shook as fuck. Everyone's just like, oh my god. And, I've seen it 4 times now, still hardcore, and I am making my, the people I live with, catch up on the MCU. They're 4 movies behind. I'm making them watch those bitches so I can take them through this pain with me. And, whew, it cuts to, yes. We're calling Marvel and suing them for emotional distress. I agree. So, so then it cuts. It cuts to back to Wakanda, and they're over Vision's corpse. And Captain America just was like, "Oh God!" And then it cuts to Thanos, and when Doctor Strange says, "What will happen when after you're done with this?" He's like, "I'll finally sit down and rest and watch the sunset over a grateful universe." Which is exactly what happens. Thanos sits down on his chair. He's looking at the sunset. It's a shot of Thanos. He slightly has a smile on his face. And the screen goes black. And there was a chorus of, what the fuck? The screen went black. The screen went black. And I was like, that's how they're gonna do us? That's how the Russo brothers are gonna do us? They're gonna kill my boy Loki, kill over half, I believe it was over half of the people. But I thought it was really cool that, they ended with Thanos, and he referenced it earlier. They did Thanos perfect. I can't find one thing I didn't like about Thanos in this movie, other than him killing all my fucking favorite people. But anyways, he was perfect. The screen went black, and everyone in it was silent. usually after like movie, like comic book movies, like Deadpool, the Iron Man's, Black Panther, anything like that, anything that has a big fan base like this, at the end it's like, woo! You could hear a pin drop in the theater. Everyone was like, and it was silent in the theater. It was silent. I can't believe I just went through this whole fucking movie. It took me an hour and a half, but I did it. The theater was silent. And I was like, okay, I guess we're gonna wait for the after credit scene here. And they usually their roll call of the actors, they usually have like cool stuff. They have like the character standing next to it, and it's like Elizabeth Olsen and Scarlet Witch. You know what I'm talking about? Like the cool end credits where it shows like their character and then it says who played them. This one was just black title card with their names just going black, just a black title card, which fits the movie. But I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ. And then it says Avengers, yeah, it will be an after party if my boy Loki's alive. No, just kidding. It will be good. It will be good. I'm interested to see it. We have to wait over a year. I think May 4th, 2019 is when the next one comes out. Because we have Ant-Man and the Wasp and Captain Marvel next, I believe. Anyway, so the credits are going, and I was like, okay, we're gonna wait for this after scene. As if I didn't think they could kill any more people. The end credit scene comes on. By the way, some people still left the theater. I'm like, it's been 10 years, 18 movies, and you still don't know to wait till after the credits to see more scenes? Come on, you noobs. Anyways, the after credit scene goes on. And it's Nick Fury, and I forget her name, but I know it's a character that's been in the show before. In the movies. I'm sorry. I don't know. Anyways, Nick Fury, they're talking. Fucking car. They go up to it, no one in it. People, half the fucking population's dying. She's like, there's no one there. A plane crashes into it, and he went code red. And then she's like, Nick. She starts dying. Mariah or Maria? No, it's Mariah. I'm gonna go with Mariah. She dies or disappears, dead for the moment, and Nick went. He pushes past the guy that's disappearing and his friend. He grabs a little signaler, and as he's signaling, Nick fucking Fury starts dying. And then I start crying again. I start bawling again. I was like, this movie is not gonna stop. So he fucking disintegrates, and he drops the caller, and it's like, sending, doop doop doop, doop doop doop, doop doop doop. Captain Marvel! And like 50% of the theater, the noobs, were like, what was that supposed to mean? But the people who know their shit, we all went, Captain Marvel! And then we started clapping, and we went, woo! Because Captain Marvel, we know, she's that bitch. She's that bitch, man. She is the strongest character in the MCU. She's going to kick Thanos' ass. She's going to turn back time. She's going to help us not have to cry over our dead favorites, but I'm going to have to cry for over a year. Anyways, Captain Marvel's going to save the day. I can't wait till our solo movie. I cannot wait. There's been some set photos of people, and I can't wait for Ant-Man and the Wasp also. I was disappointed Ant-Man and Hawkeye weren't in this movie, but they kind of threw them off with one like line saying they were protecting their families from I don't know, something like that. Excited for Ant-Man and the Wasp. I hope Hawkeye comes to play in the second movie. Part 2, I can tell it's going to be I don't have it pulled up. But there was something I read, it was an article, and it said, President of the Marvel Universe, Kevin, says people who died in Infinity Wars will stay dead. That was an article I read. I don't know if he means people who disintegrated or people who died like Gamora, Loki, and Heimdall. Of course it would be fucking Loki. I'm telling you, Marvel, they sleep on Loki. He had so much more potential than what they gave him. Anyways. But yeah, I read that. But I'm hoping the second movie, things come to fruition and not all these people died. I'm assuming a couple people are still gonna die. I don't know. I haven't read the comic books. I'm not gonna read the comic books. I like to go in fresh as a daisy. Maybe after the movies, I'll read the comic books and see what they're all about. But I'm super excited for Captain Marvel. They couldn't have got a better actress. Brie Larson is amazing. So I'm not gonna worry about the acting. I just have to see if the story's gonna be good. Brie Larson's gonna kill Captain Marvel. Um, Everyone is so well casted. It was a great movie. I've seen it 4 times. It's a lot to sit through a 2 hour and 40 minute movie 4 times, if that says anything to you. It was a great movie. I love it. I recommend it to anyone. If you're watching this, you probably already seen it. Otherwise, you just got the shit spoiled out of you. Um, yeah, I heard it wasn't very close to the comics. I heard in the comics that Thanos was just obsessed with death, and that's why he was doing it, which I'm glad they changed his through line, because if he was just obsessed with death, it would have been stupid. Anyways, great movie, traumatic, funny. They did Thor right. They did. Who else did they do good? I believe the standout character was Thor for me. Thor really shined in this movie. Um, but yeah, it was great. If you listen to my 95-minute talk, you're a trooper. I think only like 4 people got on here. I don't know. I'm going to be posting this to my channel, so if you're wanting to hear someone talk about Infinity Wars or just play it as background noise, it will be on my channel. Um, to Yeah, it'll be on there. Woo, a lot of people did. I am going to take a break because I just talked forever. Take a break. I'm gonna edit for 16 of Vikings. Get that up for you. Fear the Walking Dead on tonight. We got that going. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. I don't know how to end this. Oh my god. There we go. No. How do I end this? Oh my god. How do I end it? It's so awkward. Oh my god. There we go.